there is a hack that you can use to quickly use what people care about and thus target their emotions in a manner which will enable you to influence them. If you cannot use logic to persuade your customers, what should you be doing? In this video, I am going to answer that question. But before I answer that question, I just want to show you this amazing backdrop right behind me. I'm currently in the Rocky Mountains National Park here in Colorado. So if you are in the USA, make sure you check this place out because it's absolutely beautiful here. And I would even say the video behind me doesn't do justice to just how amazing it is here. But putting that aside, what do you think the answer is to the question I asked you just a few moments ago? How can you persuade your customers without using logic? Pause the video and have a think to yourself. The answer is to use emotions, but this answer is only partially right. And that is because whilst emotions are, of course, incredibly powerful motivational tools, you cannot just use any old emotion. So there's a caveat to this rule. Of course, target people's emotions, but remember the caveat, which is you have to find out what your audience actually cares about. Now, this is quite difficult because, of course, it takes time to get to know people, right? And discover what it is they actually care about. However, there is a hack that you can use to quickly use what people care about and thus target their emotions in a manner which will enable you to influence them. But before I give you that hack or shortcut, I want you to pause this video right now and just have a think for yourself what you think that shortcut might be. So guys, the answer lies in understanding that we humans have two decision making models, right? The first decision-making model is based on a very cold, rational cost-benefit analysis. So in this model, we basically just ask, what is in it for me? The second decision model is based on self-identity. When we are using this decision model, we are asking questions such as, who am I and what would someone like me in this situation do? So rational thought process or rational analysis has very little to do when we are using this decision model. And the critical point really is that when it comes to important decisions in our life, we often defer to this second decision model rather than the first. And that is why, for example, if a friend was to ask you for a favor, you would not be thinking, what is in it for me? Rather, you would consult an ideal self-image, right? Which is, of course, that friends help each other out without expecting something in return. That is also why if a friend was to ask you for a favor and then offer you some money as compensation, you're actually likely to get quite offended, right? Because you're not looking for any self-gain. You're not looking for any self-benefit. Instead, you're just trying to do what a good friend does, which is help that person out when they need your help. So guys, by leveraging your audience's self-identity to support your position, you can now start to use what they care about to influence them very quickly without them even realizing. So this marketing strategy is another very good example of what I call empathetic judo. And in part 2 of this video, what I'm going to do is give you an example, show you an example of this principle in action, and also show you how you can use this principle in your digital marketing campaigns. So make sure you stay tuned for part 2 of this video because you're going to see specific examples of how this principle actually works. If you liked this video and would like to learn more about what business is actually like, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.